This is a Hiphop Guy exclusive.
Ever since I was a young boy, growing in the streets in Toronto, I always had to hustle hard, cause you ain't promised tomorrow. And I see you watching, feel you plotting, put your face on a shirt and leave you forgotten. Damn, my life is just so nice, I should live it twice, and you're hating me. I see you hating me. I don't know why my life's so fly, sucks to live your life. Yeah, I see you hating me. Why are you hating me? Ooh.
Hey yo, top down, hot now. I'm at the top now.
Let me know a little bit about your struggle. I understand that you did used to dance before.
Yes.
What was that like? Just coming up through that whole coming from that element to where you are now. How do you see the transition, the changes?
I can't say that anything that I've done in my past I necessarily regret.
Yeah.
Because if I were to be a dancer today and that's all that I had to do to survive, I would do it again. Just for the simple fact that I've grown so far and beyond of looking for a handout that I would go back to dancing before I would go back to, living off of men days.
Yeah.
And rich and famous and high profile men. I think that I've come further in an aspect that I would, if I was to be a dancer today, my mentality has changed drastically in terms of I would be a dancer now to buy properties, to invest in businesses, to if I had to dance. Whereas before, I was dancing for the new outfit for that night to go out. I was dancing for the limo that night for all my friends to go out. I was dancing for the immediate and not for the future, which is why I got, stuck, and which is why I had to take 10 steps back and revert back to dancing. And the dancing became a consistent fallback for me, which was just never okay. When was it going to be a normal 9 to 5? Why didn't I ever get up and just go to work every day like everybody else and make an honest living?
Okay.
I felt like I lived beyond my means because my lifestyle and my likes were of the famous lifestyle. So I had to have the poshest condos and the poshest cars, and even though I knew it was way above and beyond my means, I had to have it because that's all I knew. It's all I've been around since yay high.
Okay.
I see you hating me.
You can't go to university and then be kicked out on the street from your parents' home and know how to survive. The books aren't going to help you. And now you also can't be kicked out to the streets and think that it's okay because everybody's doing it, so should you. You need to know the difference between the different paths in life, and it's either the bad one or the good one. There's no gray area with that. There's either I'm going to do what I've been taught. Now, I remember peeking between the bedroom doors, me and my sisters, and me having to shove my sisters because they're younger back, seeing my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my aunt, my uncles, all my family with straws, with barrels, big, huge barrels of heroin and cocaine, doing it till they couldn't do it, until they couldn't even wake up and feed us the next day. So drugs to me is what separated it. To me is the primary cause of why I don't have a family, of why my family is the way that they are, and they're all over the place. So now, for a young girl that grew up and only knowing that, only seeing that, I could have easily thought that that was the only way to do. That was the only thing to do, and that was the only way to get by. That's all I was ever taught. That's all I was ever shown. I was never sat at the table and done homework with. I was never fed a square meal. I was never taught how to tie my shoelaces or know the difference between a big fork and a small fork. Like, I've done all this. I've raised myself on my own. And people say, did you grow up in group homes, foster homes? How did you raise yourself? I'm a sponge for detail. I listen. I'm very adamant when people talk. And I know when you're talking shit. And I know when she's saying something that means something. I know the difference. I know the difference. And I didn't have to be fortunate enough and be gifted enough to recognize the difference. Because a lot of young women don't. And we keep saying young, but there's a lot of 31 and 32-year-olds right now that are still caught up and still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I know that I still have a long way to go, but I am so happy how far I've come, and that's what's important.
I see you hating me.
found that because of the childhood situations and turmoil and stuff that I was put through, you know, the NBA players and stuff like that, you know, I just wanted to be noticed. I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to feel important, because the ways that I only knew to feel important was wearing the little pink nightie that my uncle loved me in so much. And as a 4-year-old child, you don't know any better. He's my favorite uncle. He tells me I look pretty in this. And I like sleeping with him because he reads me bedtime stories, but I don't know what he's doing when I go to sleep. I only know when I wake up in the morning. And I tell my grandmother Thanksgiving morning, just after my 6th birthday, that, you know, Uncle Wayne, you know, was touching me in bad ways and I don't like it. Because it went from being pretty and cute to him to being aggressive. And I told my grandmother this, and, you know, obviously immediately she, you know, had him removed from the home, and it was a situation. And then thereafter, you know, I was watching A&E actually when Mos and I got married, when we moved into our house in Rosedale, and I looked over to the TV, and the same uncle 20 years ago is on A&E for sending his daughter and his son around Toronto in a cab. Had a cab driver, paid a cab driver to cut his 4-year-old daughter's nipples off and his 8-year-old son's penis off, and raped his daughter repetitively till she basically was like just deformed. The same uncle that molested me. So reason that there are any players or any person in this book, again, because it is a life story, any men that you hear about in this book have been the ones that have helped me significantly at a very bad point in my life and helped me get back up. Antoine Jameson, Jermaine O'Neal, Shaquille O'Neal, Ray Allen, the list goes on, okay?
Down hot now, I'm at the top now. Call niggas out like shit's looking flop now. Rappers need to stop now, they need to take a look around. Shit ain't hot now, they need to take a look around.